So before I start this movie review of The Wizard of Oz, I just want to give a quick shout out to Speedo Zia. He's subscribed to my channel a couple of times, and I think you should definitely check out his channel. Thank you, Speedo, and thank you to all my other subscribers, and enjoy this movie review. The Wizard of Oz. Finally! I wanted to talk about this movie forever on my channel. This was my movie as a little child. I remembered that The Wizard of Oz was one of those movies that I would repeatedly watch because I had nothing else to watch on TV. And I didn't care how old this movie was. This movie never got old. And honestly, I don't even know how many times I've seen The Wizard of Oz as a kid. But I say to myself, I say this to myself and to you guys, if you have nothing to watch and you want to watch a fantastic movie, no matter what genre, or how old it is, or how new it is, The Wizard of Oz is a must. It has been a childhood favorite of mine ever since I was a little kid. I still love this movie to this very day. Let's talk about The Wizard of Oz. So The Wizard of Oz revolves around this young girl known as Dorothy Gale, played by the late Judy Garland. And she's fantastic in this movie as Dorothy. She's the rest of the story revolves around her and her little dog Toto. They dream of a magical land beyond the rainbow and stuff like that. And then one tragic day happens where a tornado comes and shoots them off into Munchkin Land and stuff like that. And you guys basically know the rest of the plot of this movie. Who hasn't seen The Wizard of Oz? Dorothy and Toto have to go to the land of Oz to go meet the wizard, along with a scarecrow, a tin man, and a cowardly lion, in order for her and Toto to go back home and to grant all of her other friends wishes, but to watch out for an evil witch known as the Wicked Witch of the West. The Wizard of Oz has to be the most influential movie of all time. It's so amazing to know that this movie came out in 1939 and it still looks very beautiful today. I can watch The Wizard of Oz today, observe it, and not find anything wrong with it. This movie looks absolutely astonishing. The visuals that bring you in this film is so magical. Everything about The Wizard of Oz is just so magical. And it's very hard to hate films like this. Judy Garland is absolutely beautiful. She's an amazing actress in this film. She takes this entire film as Dorothy. She is absolutely charming, and there's something about her character as Dorothy that makes her so sweet. She's just this innocent, nearly teenage girl, and she's just trying to get home back to Oz and stuff like that. And before then, she dreamed about this magical land all over, beyond the rainbow and stuff like that. Because apparently her life in Kansas is not really the life that she wanted to experience, and that's a little sad, I guess. Ray Bolger as the Scarecrow is speechless in this movie. He is so good. He's just so good. He knows how to play this character. He's so funny, and he's such an interesting character. When you first run into this character, you just realize that he's mindless, apparently. Literally, he's mindless. But the thing about each of these characters, including Scarecrow, even though that he has no brain, he still has a brain somewhere in there of his. He uses these clever things when they continue their journey and stuff like that, when they run through obstacles and stuff like that. Tin Man, for example, he doesn't even have a heart. There are some scenes in this movie where he can feel really, really sweet. And Lion, he doesn't have courage. And let me just tell you, there is plenty of things to love about Lion in this film, and it'll definitely show his courage. Now, before I talk about the rest of The Wizard of Oz, I just want to say that if you have not seen this film, which I'm pretty sure almost everyone has seen The Wizard of Oz, but I'm talking to you as a person in general. If you have not seen The Wizard of Oz, you need to go in a corner right now, cry, and remind yourself of who you actually are. Because The Wizard of Oz is one of the most watched movies ever. Like, who hasn't seen this movie? It's so easy to watch a movie like The Wizard of Oz way back in 1939 and still watch it today and know that this movie is timeless. Margaret Hamilton knocked it right off the bat as the Wicked Witch of the West. Amazing, fantastic, terrific. She is one of my all-time favorite villains in any movie. And she traumatized me as a child. She really did. She just plays such a fantastic villain. One of the most iconic and memorable villains, too. And one of the reasons why I love Margaret Hamilton as the Wicked Witch of the West so much is because she's just one of those villains that you have to despise so much. You hate her, but that's why you love her. You love her because she is bad, and you love her because you hate her and stuff like that, and you hate her to love her. She's one of the greatest villains in any movie. And let's not all forget that iconic scene where she melts. Yes, you know what I'm talking about. That scene.
You cursed brat! Look what you've done! I'm melting! Melting! Oh, what a world! What a world! Who would have thought a good little girl like you could destroy my beautiful wickedness? Ah, look out! Look out! I'm going!
And one of the things that I really love about The Wizard of Oz is the magic of friendship and love. The experience between Dorothy, the Scarecrow, Tin Man, and Lion, it still works today. It's such powerful friendship, and that's one of the reasons why I love this film so much. It has extremely compelling characters, and just seeing these characters' friendship develop as the film progresses, it's such a beautiful thing about The Wizard of Oz. I was also surprised on how great the cinematography still holds up today. This movie was released way back in 1939, and how this film is shot and how everything is set up is still magnificent. The amount of color that's brought into The Wizard of Oz and the idea of magic that's brought into this film and the characters that are set up, it's just so beautiful. And Glinda is also such an amazing and fascinating and gorgeous character in this film. It's also hard to believe that she's one of the sisters of the Wicked Witch of the West. Because if you look at these two characters, they won't even come close to looking like sisters and stuff like that. But it's basically the good, the bad, and the ugly. There's Glinda, there's the Wicked Witch of the East, and there's the Wicked Witch of the West. And the idea and the story that each of these witches have, it's just so genius writing. But you guys, this is a message that's coming from the heart. I love this movie. I love The Wizard of Oz. This is a movie that I personally watched non-stop as a little child. And knowing that it still holds up today, I still love this movie. There are a lot of things to love about The Wizard of Oz, and that's why it stands as a timeless masterpiece classic. It brings a lot of positive messages for adults and for children, and for future children and future adults that many people will enjoy. And this movie is almost so close to being 80 years old. This movie is like 78 to 79 years old, and this movie still is one of the best of its kind today. This movie is one of the best. The Wizard of Oz has to be the most influential movie of all time. A lot of people watch this movie year to year, and they will still continue to do this, possibly 500 years later. And you just can't really beat really great classics like this. You can't really beat them. It is such a great feeling for me to watch The Wizard of Oz today, realizing that this movie was released in 1939. That's almost 80 years ago. And knowing that everything that was made in this film is still very gorgeous and very beautiful to this very day, I can watch this film. You guys, The Wizard of Oz is one of my all-time favorite movies, and I think it definitely deserves to be on everyone's top 10 movies of all time list. It's a movie that I've watched nonstop as a child and will keep on watching until the end of time. Of my time, at least. But you guys, let's be real. What else is there to say about The Wizard of Oz? This movie is perfect. It's an absolute classic. It's a classic. You just can't really beat films like this. And it's a film that I absolutely adore and love and respect, that this film still holds up perfectly today. You guys, The Wizard of Oz is one of my all-time favorite films. It really is. And it would be illegal for me to not give this movie this grade. I'm going to give The Wizard of Oz an A+. Thank you guys so much for watching my movie reviews always. You guys are the best. Look forward to other content look forward to my other content on my channel and stuff like that. You guys are always the best. Look forward to other movie reviews that I'm going to be doing. But I'm serious. The Wizard of Oz is one of my all-time favorite movies. I've watched this movie non-stop as a child. And I will continue watching this movie, and I will share it with my future children and many future relatives and stuff like that. And many audiences will do the same. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this review of The Wizard of Oz. This is probably one of my best reviews on my entire channel. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this review of The Wizard of Oz. You guys are the best. I love every single one of you. And if you're new here and you like what you're watching, hit that subscribe button to join me for more content. Thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, I am MarioFan520, and I will see you next time. Peace out.